All
Just
right.
be like, I'm finna start, and then we be like,
Mm,
all right, let's get it.
okay. All right. Let's get it. Welcome back to Club 478, episode 2, with your host Corey.
I'm your host, Josiah.
I'm your host, Caleb.
Let's get into it. Decide. Let's start it off, man. Let's get it.
All right. Like I said, like my brother Corey said, welcome back to another episode of Club 478. I want to say a couple words to the viewers, to ones that's listening, whether you're listening or watching. This message applies to you. Um, Hopefully you can take something of value from this. Another month goes by. Time will continue to pass. It is June. It will be July, then August, then September before you know it. Stop overthinking and just do the thing. Whatever you have set out to do, stop doing the talking about doing the thing and just do the thing. Talking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Procrastinating about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Whatever it may be, just do the thing. Make it exist. You can improve it later. And that was short words for anybody that's listening. Just get out and do the thing. Get after it. Make it happen. So, for the first topic of today, what we got is what's going on in the content world and certain concerns and certain things that I have personally about the content world. Um, I feel like content creation has grown significantly after 2020, especially like during COVID, everybody being inside and the rise of content, like I said, has skyrocketed due to people being inside, of course. So, has it gotten to a point where content has now impacted the real world where content creators cannot go out in the real world and function because they have such a fan base or so much attention? Like, at first it was like, okay, celebrities go through this too as well, but now it seems like content creators have the same type of deal now as a celebrity may have. I feel like content creators have paparazzi just as much as a celebrity has. And it comes with the new term that content creators, influencers, if you will, are the new celebrities. That's what a celebrity is now. Of course, you got your actors and you got your models and your songwriters and whoever that may be. But I truly feel that content creation is now coming into a new phase of what it means to actually have status. So, will we get to a point where people can't go outside now because they have a certain amount of views on their platform? And if that's the case, why do people, or the real question I should be asking the viewers or listeners is, does that change the intention when it comes to making content? Because when it comes from a creational standpoint, you want to create and you want to be authentically yourself. But when it comes to content creation and you're portraying such a character, it kind of takes I feel like it takes the realness out of it, because it's like, okay, I portray that I'm this guy, but off camera I'm really this person. And in real life, when people see me, they see me as not that person. And I feel like it ruins their experience as well. And one of the best ways, that I feel like to go into content is to be yourself and be authentically yourself. But then again, you have some people that put on acts and they're very good at doing it. And that's their niche. To each is their own. I mean, if it works, it works. But to be that fame, that that fame, that recognition, that status to the point where you can't even have your privacy. I feel like that is such a problem because you're not necessarily a celebrity, right? That's not the role that you applied for. But I do understand that once you know, cultivate so many fans and so many people that love what you do, of course you're going to have that effect. But I feel like it's a thin line between it because once the paparazzi and the shade room and all these type of platforms get involved, I feel like you're no longer really a content creator. You're no longer a content creator that just has fans that love you. You're more becoming a public figure. And that's a whole nother different theory about public figures and stuff like that. I can go on and on about that, but that is truly a concern I have about in this content space and this industry that is still growing and will continue to grow. So yeah, that's what I have about my concerns. But do any of y'all have any concerns about that? Like, if this platform gets to a certain point that it's like when we go out, we're recognized for the work we do, which is good, right? But do
Yeah.
y'all think that like it gets to a point it's like, wait, I'm not no celebrity or nothing. I'm just a regular guy that just make videos. Like it's getting too out of hand. You
Well,
Mhm.
feel me? Everybody can't deal with that.
I see it like, okay, they're I see, I put it like that. Okay, just like you said, it's not a bad thing because of them applauding us for the work that we've done, and like they enjoy listening to us do as we keep giving them pause and stuff to listening to and like to interact with. And it's just like on and our standpoint is okay, behind the scenes of the pod, it's like, okay, we go out and try to do our normal day thing. We really can't because it's interrupted
Mm-hmm.
by us being bombers by people that enjoy listening to us.
True.
Like, now if that was to happen, like it's not like it's good. It's pros and cons to it, because if you trying to do something, like if you're in the middle of doing something like serious, it kind of gets in the way, and some people react different.
True.
And so, it's a pro and a con to it. But it's just like you said, it's like how some people some people do take it differently.
True. Corey.
Yeah, I just kind of feel the same way, as you being a content creator, it has its pros and cons, for it's like people knowing you want to get autographs and stuff like that, as you become more in the influence world, that's the stuff that happens, you got to learn how to navigate and stuff like that, because fans want, get autographs stuff like that, so it's kind of hard, to kind of live normal life, because you ain't a normal person no more. Once you become an influencer, you start getting a big following. You're a public figure now. In your eyes, you feel like you're a real person. You're not that no more.
Hmm. Very interesting. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I just think like a lot of people get into this industry or want to get into this industry because they want the fame, they want the attention. But I feel like their intentions is kind of in the wrong area. Like if you get fame and you get recognition, that is great. But
Yeah.
the main thing is for you to cultivate an audience that loves the content that you put out. If you get famous while doing that, that's cool. If you get the masses, that's cool. But the main goal is to make a living off of the content that you
Mm-hmm.
make. I just think like the fame and the attention stuff, like if that's what drives somebody to make content, not saying that they can't make great content, but I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's no links that a person will go to if
Mm-hmm.
that's what drives them. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like their soul is for sale, literally on the market, because they would do anything possibly to blow up.
Yeah.
And personally, like I said, it depends on how you was raised, depends on where your morals at, what you believe in, what you don't believe in. But like at the end of the day, it's content. You feel me? Like it's so widespread. There's so many things that you can tap into. So regardless of what somebody gets into it, I just hope that it's genuine, and I just hope that like they understand that like regardless of what you do in content, you have a real life too as well, and you have to learn how to balance the content creation and also, you know what I'm saying, the real world as well. And it can be a little tricky because like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, especially if you're not used to people coming up to you asking for
Yeah.
pictures,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of that's kind of a weird type of thing to
Mm-hmm.
get into unless
Mm-hmm.
you were just born into it, like you like
Born.
some type of kid celebrity or something.
Yeah.
Then it's different.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's just my take on it, my honest take. But Corey, you up, Corey?
Okay. What the transition and kind of into that same little atmosphere with being popular influencer? Should people just ask your kids for pictures without asking for your permission? I feel like, as us fans and people that's watching these different YouTubers and influencers, I feel like we get caught up in, oh, we know, so we just can come up and ask the kid for a picture without asking the parent for their permission. Cause at the end of the day, you might know them, but they don't know you. You're just complete strangers to them that we know that are fans. Cause I've seen instances like with Wolf and Dove, them going up to Wolf and ask him for pictures when Dove is right there and just bypassing the father. Like Wolf's only 9 years old now. He's been in the camera since he's been 2, 3 years old. Cause he's
Mm,
been a nephew of DG, and so he's used to it, but still, it's still a kid, and you still got to respect the parents, cause it's a boundary.
true.
Because I feel like I'm with my family. I don't want you to just come up to my kid and just asking for pictures without my consoling me.
Right.
True.
I just feel like that's a boundary that you shouldn't cross. Just like with Larry and Sasha, they have Zaza. He's a baby. I was, she made a whole video about people just grabbing him and trying to take a picture. Like that's somebody's baby. Like it's all right that you know us. Come up and ask. We glad to give pictures, but you can't just come out and just do what you want. In the day, we all human.
True. Do
What's
you
y'all? What is y'all take on that?
do you think like do you think like maybe like I like to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
I feel like as a content creator, like once you let's say you have a large following, Corey, and you have a
Hmm.
family, right?
Hmm.
I'm not saying that you can't have your family on camera, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like once you begin to introduce your kid into
Yeah.
that light, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like once you really begin to introduce, I ain't saying just like, oh, here my kid, say
Yeah.
hi and they leave. I
Hmm.
ain't saying that. I'm saying like
Yeah.
really make them a part of the content for real.
Yeah.
Like make them a part of the show, if you will.
Hmm.
Like I feel like that's the cons of it. That's kind of like the
Hmm.
repercussions of it for real. Like
Yeah.
you have people because like you like we say about the content fierce, it's like bro, people don't look at you as regular people. So once you
Hmm.
put your kid in that light, they no longer look at them as a regular kid.
Right.
Us logically, we know it's like, okay, these are just people. But to a longtime fan, to them, that's like Superman,
Yep.
especially these younger viewers. Because
Hmm.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it just depends on how a kid was raised.
Yep.
Right.
Kids are kind of unpredictable. Like when kids want to take pictures with other kids, I see that's no problem. I don't think that's no problem. When it's kids
No.
asking
No.
kids,
No.
but
That's
when
not a
it's
problem.
adults, when it's grown people
Yeah.
saying, "Hey man, I want to get a picture with Whoop or whatever," that's when it get kind of weird for me personally,
Hmm.
because it's like you a grown man or you a grown woman. Why you wanna take a picture with this little kid? Like, what's that little kid rapper name? RT, little RT.
Uh huh.
Why you wanna you barely got clothes on. Why you a grown woman? Why you want to take picture with this little boy for? I don't care
Yeah.
how he talk. I don't care where
Yeah.
he from. It's just the principle of
Yeah.
just because he has a certain status, you feel like you can treat him as an object. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really like, honestly, the drawbacks of putting young kids into content early. It's nothing wrong with, like I said, kids making content for kids, but I feel like once you put a kid into the adult world of making content, that's when it gets weird, because it's like, you are a kid. Why are you talking about adult content? Why are you talking about things that 20-year olds or 20, 23, 24-year olds talk about? And why is your audience 23, 24 year olds and you're a kid?
Yeah.
Unless you're just doing dope stuff, which is cool. There's nothing wrong
Mm-hmm.
with that, because audience really don't have no a certain type of diversity or some type of, age quota. You feel me? Whatever content you make is what the people like. Whatever people attract to it, they're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But I just don't like how when families get their kid involved in this content space, they're surprised when people want to talk
Mm-hmm.
to their kid, or
Yeah.
wants to, hey, let me see the kid. And it's like, you introduce that kid into that light. So
So that, mhm.
that is a situation you have to, take into consideration. And that's just me playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? That's just
Yeah.
me on the other side. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you as far as like, just ask the parent, ask for consent of the parent. I totally agree with that. But I also agree is like, okay, as a parent, I should be aware of getting my kid involved in this type of light, knowing this space, because you're already in it. So you should
Yeah.
already know what comes with it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you bring your kid into that space, it's like, it's telling me you are okay with doing that.
Because at the same time, bringing your kid into it, you gotta look at how that affects them on in, especially as they get older. Also, because they taking at the parents. So okay, if they're doing YouTube and stuff, the kids are most definitely gonna probably turn around and do it and stuff like that. Like they're gonna start creating content, but it's just like, but if they don't create content, then they're gonna be like, okay, their parents still creating the content and they're around. Then you got people that like say when they're at school, you got people. Hey, well, they trying they want pictures, they want autographs, you know. Then when they out in public, like say for if they go to another state and they have fans in a whole another state, but they're not around their parents and they get bomb rushed, that is really like what can they do?
True.
They out with their friends, but they getting bomb rushed by a crowd that they not even familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it it's really it's like the parents, just like you said, the parents really got to be careful bringing their kids into that type of environment, because it could be a good effect or it could be a bad effect.
True. Just with anything you do, is gonna have good and bad. You have to weigh the pros and cons. That's with anything you do, whether it's a task or a dream, or changing your dynamic in life. Like, you're gonna have pros and cons. But when it comes to like family decisions, like you allowing your kid to do that, then, or you're allowing yourself to put your kid into that type of light, then don't expect to not have drawbacks, because there's
Right.
gonna be some bad in it. It just has to be. That's just how balance works. Like, it's going to be bad. It can be good too. Now it's up to you, depending on how your audience is, depending on how your YouTube is set up. Because, for example, I like to throw out Outdoor Boys is a prime example. A very well oriented family man. You see his
Mm-hmm.
family on camera. He talks about his wife. He talks about his kids. His kids actually do have a YouTube channel, and they balance that very well. That is a good scenario of, it can work, just depending on what your brand is, what is your
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure. Because I look at it like this: if we're all parents and we all own a business, that's kind of like me just bringing my son into the family business. but it depends on what your infrastructure is. It just depends on what you do. If you promoting stupid stuff and you bring your son to promote stupid stuff, don't act like it's a surprise when people come up and ask you the same stupid questions, like ask your son the same stupid questions that they ask you because you brought him into that type of infrastructure. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's how I look at it. But
Shoot,
but yeah, though,
appreciate y'all for y'all insight, man. The viewing audience, leave y'all comments down below what y'all think,
for
and
sure.
stay on the content topic. Is AMP the most creative content group on YouTube? In my opinion, I think they are, because with all the different ideas they have, sumo basketball, Mario Kart, in RL, in Extreme Pictionary, and also them doing Container Wars just the other day.
Yeah.
Like them doing Mario Kart in real life and actually having like little powers and stuff. I think that was just, I ain't never seen anybody do that. That's just so creative how their minds work, how they bounce ideas off each other. It just, and they just keep content coming and coming and coming. 'Cause I just feel like it's hard for some content groups to keep, being not stale and having, different ideas, different stuff they can just go to.
Right.
And for them, it's just kind of like they don't miss. It's just like boom, let's go this, let's go there. It's like their mind's always working.
I
True.
like I like it because they're staying. I put it like they're being authentic within themselves. They like to have fun. They're goofy. So with them being authentic towards themselves, they're bringing stuff that they used to love from their childhood to real life,
Mm.
and they looking at stuff. Okay, this right here used to be real popular back in the day. Let's bring it to real life and let's do it.
Um, I think personally, I can't really narrow it down to AMP, but I really feel like they do have some very great creative thinkers over there to be able to
Mhm.
come up with such a broad amount of content that's in different areas. They
Mhm.
really can go from military boot camp to Mario Kart. Like
Yeah.
to be able to pivot between those type of realms,
Yeah.
for me, that is fascinating. But what's interesting though, when we just talk about creativity literally has no limits
Yeah.
whatsoever. So like
Mhm.
I don't me personally, I can't really put a cap on creativity. So I don't necessarily say they're the most, but they're definitely creative. They're definitely creative
Yeah.
because I've seen some crazy content in the
Mhm.
years that
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I
Mhm.
would never think of that. Or wow, I
Yeah.
know for a fact this individual person
Mhm.
had this specific idea. Um Another YouTube group like RDC World, like they come up with writing scripts like for skits and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. You got
Oh
you
yeah.
got like Desi Banks, you got Drewski coming up with different comedy
Oh
skits
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
that.
Dashy. Dash. I want to shout out Dashy. SP. He come out with some good scripts too.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's like it's so many creative thinkers that come up with these things that it's like it's so hard to rank it. So in my opinion, I can't say that they're the most creative, but I definitely say hats off. Like they are definitely doing some creative, dope stuff that's a lot of people I feel like are not thinking of, or if
Yeah.
they have thought of it, they don't have the budget to do it.
Budget to do it. Yeah. That's.
So yeah, I feel like creativity is kind of like it has its limits. It
It,
does, but
yeah.
it doesn't at the same time.
Yeah.
It depends on it. How about this? Executing the creation has its limits, but
Yep.
thinking the creation has no limits. When
Yep.
you think the creation to create it, it doesn't have any limits. You can think endlessly.
Mhm.
Whatever comes to your mind, like you can write it down. But when it's time to execute it, how it would get done and how much you have to spend, like that has its limits. Like then you have to add the improvements.
Yep.
But that's what I think though.
And I feel like you're exactly right. I think it's a lot. They're not the only content team that's creative. I think it's other. other people that's creative too. You know, just don't have the budget
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to spend on.
Because like if you put if every YouTube creator, us included, had an AMP budget, think about that. Just think about
Yeah,
the type of content we'd be seeing.
yeah.
We would be seeing all kind of content that's like AMP. Literally.
Because you really got to think about it. How many people in that group is really have a lot of money at their disposal?
That is right.
It's a
You
lot
got to
of
think about it. You got to think about agent is at the head of it. Him and Kyle like at the head of it.
true.
Then plus when you add Duke and the rest of them, I mean it's just they really you know they got money for days. So it's just like whatever they want to do, they can do it and put it together.
Also to add on to what you're saying too, it's like they also have, sponsors, they have a team
Yeah, yeah,
outside AMP themselves. They have
yeah,
a team because AMP is a brand. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's a corporation. So
yeah.
it's like they have workers as well. They probably have a creative team as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure they are the ones that get the last like, hey,
Last say so.
but I'm pretty sure it's more people in that operation to keep it going. It's definitely more. It's kind of like a centipede for real. Like it's definitely a lot of legs going on there to make it actually move. I really believe that.
Hmm.
Yeah. And to finally finish on the social media type of platform, how social media has ruined where guys don't have the courage to approach women. I feel like, especially with social media now, I just feel like women are so accessible now that you can just DM girls and just kind of have conversations with them like that instead of trying to meet them in person and try to talk because a lot of people are scared of rejection,
Mm,
especially with how people see social media now where they can post it like, oh, this person got rejected, so your self esteem gets real low.
mm-hmm.
So it's like, man, should I really take this chance? Should I not? And I'm a victim of it because I'm not gonna lie. You after you get rejected a lot of times, you kind of start weighing towards the online thing. It's like, okay, if she reject me, at least she didn't do it in my face. So it's like it's no hard feelings.
Mm. You know, it's interesting that you say that. Let me give you some free game, fellas. I'm not gonna get canceled. I promise you. Let me give you some free game. Like you have to nowadays. Yeah, I understand you may be scared of rejection. You have to actually go talk to women, bro. You have to go talk to women in real life. You have to. I'm gonna tell you why. Instagram, Snapchat, like my brother Corey said, women are so accessible. Anybody can DM them. Anybody, literally. If she's a attractive woman, I'm pretty sure she has a lot of people in her DMs. So you literally are in the contest of saying things that has to stand out, and it may not even be your authentic self. You're just saying whatever just to get that reply. So therefore, go meet that same woman in person, and if she feeling you, your chances of getting a date or really getting to know that person is way higher. Is way higher because I'm not gonna lie, when you sliding in the DMs and stuff like that, you're gonna have to do a lot of groundwork to finally get into the IRL, if you know what that means in real life.
In real
You're
life.
gonna, you're gonna have to do a lot of you want to do a lot of work. And me personally, if you like me, just get straight to the point. Try to meet these people in real life. Like, yes, she may be cute. Yeah, you may like the story, but liking the story nowadays is like thanking the bus driver. That ain't doing nothing for you. Back in the day, you used to be able to like, 3 or 4 posts and she liked 3 or 4 back. That don't work no more. Everybody liking her posts. She don't know who plotting on her and who not. She don't know who like her and who don't. But
Mhm.
I tell you what, if you go see her in real life, if you go see her in real life and you actually really understand her energy, you know what I'm saying, really understand her presence and actually have a civilized conversation, you might actually get something done. That is my opinion. Now, like I said, with a lot of good, there's bad. You can go meet a girl and she be exactly like she is on IG. Straight stuck up, however she look. You feel me?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She can be exactly that. It's a give
True.
or take. But you never know until you go out and actually apply yourself. And that's with anything you do.
That's right.
Just go out and apply yourself. If you fail, you fail. If you win, okay, cool. You know what to do.
Yep.
Definitely got to get out there though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just got to keep shooting. You're going to make one. You're going to make one at least. Let
Yep.
me tell you, you can be the ugliest guy alive. Somebody out there find you attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody. It's billions of people on this planet. It's no way one
Right.
person doesn't find you attractive.
True.
And if you think like that, then hey, I feel like the possibilities are endless.
Caleb, what you think?
I I'm gonna put it like this. Like it kind of the topic kind of like it hit towards me a little bit. I say that because how I say like earlier in my years, I used to be afraid of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like as you go on, you're gonna have just like you said, you're gonna have to talk to women. You're gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
And like just like you say, somebody's gonna talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all about you gonna have to find the right thing to say
Mm-hmm.
to get her attention. And so I say it's just like you just can't be scared to talk to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes about like most guys stay sheltered inside because they don't and like their social window is not big.
Mm-hmm.
So like when they go out, like the only people they probably talk to is the guys like that they cool
Mm-hmm.
with.
Yep.
And so it's just that's really that's really it.
Yeah. I just think you gotta
As
have self confidence in yourself to know,
mm-hmm.
like, regardless of rejection or not, that I'm just gonna keep shooting, and one of these shots gonna make. Just like you said, one of these shots gonna go down eventually.
Eventually.
Somebody likes me in some way, but you shouldn't limit yourself to social media because there's so many opportunities out there in the world that you need to explore. And don't just be bound to one female situation that is like you're kind of trying to dive into the situation, but it's like the energy is not right. Stuff happens. Don't just be stuck on that. It's other women that can give you better that you're looking for. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Cause it's like, bro, like I said, social media is like a bottomless pit. Like literally I can get on TikTok right now and see tons of beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I feel like there's there's tons of beautiful women in real life because they exist. You feel me? They exist. They're out there. It's just I just feel like once you're used to seeing beautiful women on your timeline every time or
Mm-hmm.
here and there or every time you see an advertisement, it's a attractive looking girl or whatever. I feel like it makes you think subconsciously that that's everyday life
Mm-hmm.
outside, and a lot of stuff be fabricated, bro. Like, it'd be a lot of remodeling face, lighting, and stuff like that. You got to go out and meet people, bro.
Yep.
What the young folks say? You got to go touch some grass, bro.
You gotta
Like you
touch
got
some
to go
grass.
outside, bro. You got
Yeah.
Yeah.
to. And I ain't saying go outside in the club. It just depends on what you're looking for. Well,
Yeah.
I take that back. Go to the club if you're looking for that.
Mhm.
Go for
Yeah,
that.
you look. I
I'm
just
not
like
the
you can
one to.
go to music parks, go to festivals,
Yeah,
go to go to your little entertainment place that you can go meet and find people.
yeah. Like that's the only way you gonna meet people. Because honestly, I'm finna make this take right now, and I I bet you 9 times out of 10, bro, if you meet a girl online, bro, the chances of it working out, I ain't saying that it ain't gonna work out, but it's very slim. It's just very slim of it working out. But if you meet a girl in person though,
Hmm.
the chances of it going somewhere is way higher because you done met her in person. You done experienced her energy for real.
Yep.
You can pick out things that okay, I like this. Okay, we can probably work on this. Stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
me personally, that's why I prefer meeting somebody in person. But I ain't knocking the shooting your shot in the DMs. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like if you shooting your shot to get the IRL, like I said, it's nothing wrong with that. I ain't gonna knock it, but I feel like the method that's always gonna work, fellas, is to just go outside, bro. And I ain't saying like go to a club unless you want those type of girls. You feel me? Like if
Mm,
you want those type of girls, you want those type of people. How about that? We just gonna say we ain't even gonna limit it to girls, just people. If you want those type of individuals, you go wherever you want to meet those type of individuals. Like you want to go to a club, you want somebody that's outside, you go somebody that's outside. You want somebody that's working on themselves, fitness, you go to a gym or you go to somebody like a run club or something like that. Like you go wherever environment you're in, you try to pick your significant other in that environment.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like so they can have something that aligns you with them. You
Be
feel me? Like,
authentic to that wherever you go. Like, don't just go to the gym one day just to find that one person.
yeah, that's crazy.
Cause they might be in the gym 5, 6 times a week, and you don't went in there. Oh, hey, how you doing? And you don't introduce yourself to them. Oh, they thinking, oh, he's active in the gym. But you only went that one time, and it's like, and y'all get together. She's like, you want to go to the gym with me? And you say, nah, I got something to do or whatever. And she like, dang, so you really don't be in the gym like that?
True. But also too, like that is a possibility, but I think of it like this too. It's like you should walk in your purpose. Whatever your God given passion is, or whatever you have the purest intention of doing, you should do that. And
Right.
the people that comes around you, whether like your homies or homegirls or your family, the people that are around you, you feel me? They are understanding of your purpose or whatever you're doing. So when it comes
Right.
to finding a woman, like I said, like you use the example of the gym, it's not even about just meeting her 5 times. Like let's say she goes 6 times a week or whatever, and you go 2 3 times and y'all schedules just haven't intertwined. It's not even about that. It's about, okay, my purpose is personal training. I want to help people be healthier. That is my thing. Okay, you working in your purpose. You're
Right.
not necessarily going to just meet a female, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, I'm walking in my purpose. This is my passion. And if a female so happens to come into my path, I pray that that is something that's important to her. So you finding a girl in the gym, it's not a coincidence. You see what I'm saying? It's not a
Mm-hmm.
coincidence because
Right.
you personal training and you working towards a certain goal, that is what you wanted to do. So
Right.
you having a partner that can support that or that aligns with that makes sense. A lot of people, I feel like, when it comes to picking a woman, yes, you want a woman that you want somebody that you attracted to. I feel like this with any sex. You feel me? They want somebody that's attractive, but it's like at the same time, you really want somebody that's going to really align with what you're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, looks and attractiveness fades. You want people that's real principle based. Well, that's just my opinion. It could be different for other people. And I'm not in a position to say, oh, what's important to you is not important to me, so it doesn't matter. So whatever fills your whoever fills your empty shell, I guess, that's all that matters. But for for the majority and for the listeners, I feel like it's important to say like, okay, you should whatever you're doing. Let's say Corey is in cybersecurity. Okay, let's say he's passionate about technology, IT, and actually his passion and his craft. Okay, and if he finds a woman in that field, that is not a coincidence. That is meant to happen because he is on his goal and his God-given purpose. Is something that he's truly invested in doing. So if he finds a woman, even if she's not into cybersecurity. I'm not saying they necessarily has to be in the same field.
Mm-hmm.
He could be getting off of work, going to a Starbucks and run into a girl, and
Mm-hmm.
and have that same. She had that same type of mindset and same type of drive.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's all about being intentional.
Yep.
I believe everything happens for a reason.
For a reason. Yep.
So that's how I look at it, bro. And social media just doesn't do that. You
Yep.
only do that by, like I said, going out and accomplishing things, and also just being in the real world. The real world will always be undefeated. This internet stuff, like, all you can do is just fake it. This because nobody posts their losses. Nobody shares the real things that they are battling. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's just a whole trauma dump. And most likely people attention spans are fried, so they're not even gonna look at it no way. So
Yep.
go in the real world and approach people. You know, that's the whole go. That's the whole thing. Whether you're a man, woman, black, white, green, blue, alien, Bigfoot, whatever, just go approach people. Be in the real world. Live in the real world.
True.
Don't live on this social media stuff. Like, it's. I mean, unless you're a content creator, unless you marketing a brand,
Yep.
you have no reason to be endlessly on this social media stuff and trying to look for a significant other. That's why I never understood dating apps. What is the
Mm-hmm.
what is the whole concept of dating apps? Honestly, it like I
I
feel like
guess the boost 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 guys like boost people's confidence to connect with somebody that has the same exact like personality traits as them. But people put on their dating apps, they put the stuff, but they're not true to the stuff that they put up there.
of
True.
course they're not, because
Facts.
I said it's just like social media. It's literally just like dating apps is literally social media, but just like trickle down to the point of like, okay, like I don't got to do all that searching and stuff. Like either we gonna match, either we not, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that takes the whole journey out of it. That's what I'm saying. What is the purpose of it? Like you can't be mad that your whatever Hinge or Tinder date didn't work out. Like I'm pretty sure all 6 or 7 of her dates didn't work out, and I'm pretty sure all 8 or 7 of his dates didn't work out because they're missing something. You're missing the key component, which is meeting these people in real life, not on no dating app because we matched. Oh, it's supposed to be something there. Like, no, it's not. You supposed to meet these people in real life without the dating apps, without the matching, without the 80% numbers and whatever BS they want to spin it. It's just you're missing the point. You're missing the key point. Go out and meet these people for real. And then people may spin it, well, how am I supposed to meet these people? Well, I look at it like this. If you're meant to meet that specific person, then you will meet that specific person. I truly believe that.
Correct.
I truly believe that. And hey, do with that is what you will.
Oh yeah. And that will be the end of my social media topic. And Josiah will transition into DreamCon recap.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the DreamCon. Shout out to RDC World. Been watching y'all for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Um, not gonna fanboy of y'all too much. You know it's love there. I'll be there watching every video. But um, basically DreamCon put on an event, and like they do, almost every year. And basically it was a lot of drama going on as usual. That's with anything. I feel like with any big event, they're gonna have drama and have this and that. Usually, I'm not the type of person to talk about the drama and stuff like that, but I like to talk about the things that went on, the good things that went on in DreamCon, and also the concerns and the type of controversies and stuff like that. Just because of the fact of this is the anime community, what I'm saying? These are my people, so I'm gonna represent my people to the fullest. Anyway, so DreamCon had different types of events. You know, you had the anime convention, DreamCon type of deal. People got to cosplay and they really got to show out, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's always a great opportunity to show love to the anime that you probably it has probably impacted your life, or it's just something that you want to do something different. You want to get a different feel of a different community and what they do. It's kind of like a running club or a lifting club. It's just anime this time. You know what I'm saying? Just a different type of vibe. That's where really the anime conventions and stuff are about. And so as far as like content wise, you know what I'm saying, they do a lot of things with AMP. You know what I'm saying? That's what the whole Team Duke versus Team Mark and the AMP versus RDC. That's the whole type of matchup thing that they do when two big powerhouse brands come together and literally just make content and put on for people. And as far as events, like they had basketball, I remember one year they had dodgeball. They have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of events as far as like going at each other and stuff and having fun. But to talk about the DreamCon anime convention, that's really something I want to tap into
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to discuss. Um, how can I say this without being a butthole? All right, look, as an anime fan, I've been watching anime for years. When I say years, I mean years, like as a kid. You know what
As
I'm
a kid.
saying? Like as a kid, and I feel like when 2020, let's go back 2020, let's go back to people being inside. I feel like people
Mm-hmm.
discovered anime really actually is great. It's
Yeah.
actually great. It's not actually kids cartoons. This actually real gore and life lessons and stuff, whatever type of anime you may be watching. So I have no problem with new anime fans, people who just going in and they just now get into anime. Matter of fact, I encourage it because it's like, okay, you're finally stepping out your shell, you're trying something new. Who am I to judge a person when I am imperfect myself? I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna judge. So it's like if you like the new anime that's coming out lately, then that's fine. The only thing I have is when these new anime people come in and it's toxic. It's it's kind of like irritating. They come like they always knew this and they always knew that, and they come in like not saying their opinion is not valid, but it's like your opinion doesn't have enough credible sources because you don't have information. So therefore, it's kind of hard to agree with your take because you haven't watched enough anime. See what I'm saying? It's kind of like basketball or sport. It's kind of like somebody coming in and first not learning how to dribble a basketball versus like Kyrie Irving.
But
Like that's like somebody telling Kyrie Irving. It's like somebody telling Kyrie Irving that he's dribbling the basketball wrong and he just started dribbling the basketball. Crazy. That's crazy if you think of it in that type of scenario. That's crazy. But the reason why I say that about the anime world is because like I said, a lot of these new anime people are coming in, and I'm not saying it's ruining the culture because, like I said, every culture and every community has good and bad. Not all communities are bad. Like the rock climbing community, that's something I've been trying to get tapped into. They have a good side and a bad side, just like any other community. But I just don't like how these new anime people are coming in, and not only are they like coming in and being toxic and stuff like that. And it's not all. I come to say that too. It's not all the new anime people coming in and being toxic, but we get a couple bad apples, and I'm just really talking about the bad apples, honestly. Like for the people that's new to watching anime, hey, welcome to the community. Hey, I embrace you with open arms. Keep on watching some old stuff. If you're not hip to the old stuff, tap in with some new stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like a entitled, but it's like you're spreading misinformation. Some of that stuff just don't be accurate. It just don't be accurate. It be biased. It be so biased to the point that they forget to hit on key points. Like if you come to me, if y'all come to me be like, hey man, like I want to get into anime. Okay. I wouldn't recommend you something new unless you say I would like to watch something newer though. Like I would like people to already have a concept of what they want to get into. I feel like me coming, that's kind of like working out. It's kind of like you just want me to, it's like you showing up to the gym and you like, all right, I'm just gonna work out. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? We're gonna do arms, you're gonna do legs. Like what do you have in mind? What kind of plan do you have in mind? And that's the same thing with anime or anything you do. It's like, what kind of plan do you have in mind? And these new anime creators are just coming in and be like, yeah, go watch this. And it's like, they don't need to be watching that. They haven't watched enough anime to be watching that to really understand what's going on. And that gives a bad experience for new anime watchers because they've been recommended anime that necessarily is not to their level yet. And when I mean not to their level, I'm not saying they're incompetent. It's just like they're not well versed in the anime world. Why would I recommend an anime to you and it's on its second season? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would I recommend not on its second season? Why would I just recommend a second season anime to you and you don't even know the first season anime? You feel me? That's crazy. It's like I'm recommending you a show that's already in its second phase. I ain't even tell you to go watch the first phase, and that's why I say like these new anime creators, like they just come in and they do things that's different, which is good though because different and change is good because it's changing the community, is growing the community. Not saying that it's bad. It's just it's just bad when the new ones come in and they are terrible about it. When the new ones come in and they they're open to learning and they have their own opinion still, then that's cool because like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
And anime creators are just they're I ain't saying in general they are, but it's like I feel like a lot of people don't watch certain animes because a certain anime creator said to not watch it. And I feel like that ruins their experience as a watcher or as an anime fan because it's like you're gonna take this person's word and that's really just their perspective on it. Like if I come out and say, man, don't go watch this anime here. It's trash. And people may take my word on it and not watch it. And it could be good to them. And I feel like I'm doing them a disservice because I'm spreading my opinion and portraying it like it's fact. That's the issue that I have. It's just not cool. I feel like it's not fair. It's just not fair. And I want everybody, like I said again, because people gonna take this out of context. I feel like I I have no problem with new people getting into anime. It's nothing wrong with that. I encourage it. It's just when new people get into anime and they provide misleading information and they start trying to ruin experience for other new anime watchers. That's the only thing I have with the anime world, honestly. But switching to anime, even though anime and games go hand in hand,
All
my
right.
brother Caleb is going to get into the gaming world. But I actually, before he gets into that, I posted a TikTok 2 weeks ago talking about Nintendo, and I'm really getting to a point where I feel like um they should reboot the Wii. They should reboot the Wii. Y'all remember the Wii, Nintendo Wii,
Oh,
the bowling, uh,
sword
it had
fight,
basketball.
boxing.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like they should at least retro it or something.
Yeah, I feel like
But
it should be the same.
yeah, but You know what I'm saying? What do you got about the gaming world? And
All right, we're gonna knock into the gaming world. So as you know, at Xbox had showcased Black Ops 7.
mm,
Me about Black Ops 7 is now Black Call of Duty is probably one of my most favorite games to ever play. But they also had some bad games.
mm,
I think I just don't want Black Ops 7 to be a letdown. Also, it could live up to the hype.
mm,
It's the they say it's the sequel that they've been wanting to release.
mm,
But my point on that is, okay, is this a game that y'all are trying to use to make up for what they did with Infinite Warfare? Infinite Warfare was probably one of the worst Call of Duty games ever made.
mm,
It boils down into other Call of Duties that the fans say that was worse than Infinite Warfare. But everybody has their takes on it. But Infinite Warfare was probably the most hated Call of Duty, and that was the last one of the last futuristic jetpack shooters that they created. They went
mm,
back into the little futuristic stage with Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 had a little bit more pull. It kind of pulled them back into the mix, pulled Call of Duty back in. But they never went back to the jetpack. They went straight back to boots on the ground. My
mm,
thing is with Black Ops 7, give the people what they asked for. Don't give them no revamped game that y'all trying to
mm,
make up for what y'all messed up.
mm,
So the game could go both in two ways. It could flop or it could boost them up.
mm,
The Black Ops franchise is probably one of the biggest franchise in Call of Duty history. Everybody loved the first Black Ops. The most loved Black Ops, everybody was down about with that everybody hated that they shut the servers down. Black Ops 2. Everybody loved Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was probably the most played. The last good Black Ops was Black Ops 3.
mm.
Black Ops 3 was great. Black Ops 4, it had their hit or miss. It was alright. Cold War, it was good. Black Ops 6, they doing good with it. But they could do a little changing. They could do a little changing. But it's still a good game. Call of Duty always gonna be my top favorite game. It's just I don't want it to be another letdown.
Mm. You know, it's kind of interesting. Like, since we talking about the video game world, like I don't I don't know what those. I can only imagine what those meetings are like with these companies and stuff. But I'm really starting to think that video game companies really don't care about their gamers necessarily. They just care about getting a product. Like Call of Duty, I know I might get a lot of hate for this, but as somebody that's getting into games, I felt like Call of Duty was just like the same game. Same thing with 2K. 2K used to be so good, bro. 2K used to be so good. It used to have a story, great story, and everything. It used to have that feeling that after playing 2K, it made me go outside and go play basketball. Now, it's just the same game. Huh, we gonna give you a person doing crossovers and shooting the basketball. Huh, we gonna give you the same thing, just some different animations. It was just like, it's like, do you even care anymore? Y'all done make so much money out of this. Y'all just, at this point, I feel like they just gonna stop making, like, you know how they made 2K26 and 2K25, like they make years and stuff like that. I feel like they're gonna get into a point where like they ain't even gonna make years no more. It's just gonna be like 2K basketball, and they just gonna have that platform and they're gonna receive updates and DLCs and roster updates. Because I'm not gonna lie, if you're not getting 2K to stream and do park and stuff like that, what are you getting 2K for? The roster update? That's crazy, in my opinion. It's the same stuff, bro. I just feel like I just I just feel like it's the same stuff. Madden like that too to me. I'm gonna be honest. Madden like that too. It's the same stuff. Now the college football when that came out, it was I ain't gonna lie, it was a different little dynamic. But I just feel like as a whole gaming companies they don't really care because like let me give you an example. Let's go back to the anime world. They dropped Sparking Zero. It was a Dragon Ball game. We
Yes.
was hyped. We was like, yeah, finally got a Dragon Ball game. When I tell you that game died so fast, when I tell you that game died so fast, people were so hyped. People then when everybody eventually got the game, they realized, oh snap, this is going to be a one-way fighting game, just like every other Dragon Ball. Yeah, they should have made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even try. That's why it go back to say. And then and then I heard recently, I just downloaded it not too long ago. They got a new Dragon Ball game coming out. It's just like it's to the point I feel like video game companies know what people want, right? And they just don't give what people want. They just don't give what people want. They just gonna be like, hey, we gonna throw this game out. We gonna give you the character you've been looking for, but we just gonna put a DLC on it. That's literally what it is. Like they got pay to play games now. That's literally what it is. Games don't come with storylines no more like they used to. They
That's how
don't.
every game is now. Is pay to play.
It's pay to play. That's all it is. DLC. Like
It.
I gotta pay the DLC to learn the rest of the story. Like the rest of the story should be in the game already. I already paid $70, $80 for a game. I should at least have the whole story in that joint. At least. Why do I have to pay for the second season on a DLC and it's $40, $30 when you already done paid $80 for the game? That's crazy.
Well, story mode is probably the best part of the game. They don't really need to change nothing about the story mode to me personally. Like, story mode is always gonna be great. Multiplayer wise, when it comes down to like loadouts and guns, it's too much of pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like that,
Mm-hmm.
like Call of Duty itself really took pay to play to a whole new level.
Whole new level.
Because when you had like Black Ops 3, I'm gonna tell you, I'm put it like this. Black Ops 3, you had to literally get the gun out of supply drops. There was no, like, you had to get the gun out of supply drops. Like, people would literally spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on crypto keys to literally open up supply drops to get a gun that was in the game. Now, a lot of people say that they should go back to the supply drops. Supply drops was good, but it wasn't the best thing. Now they don't. Every game now don't went to the battle pass thing. Battle pass
Mm-hmm.
wave now. That that right there implemented pay to play, because now you don't even have to, you like getting on Call of Duty. You can literally get on. You see two new weapons. Only thing you have to do is put money onto the game and buy your way through the whole.
It's crazy.
So
Because,
it's like,
go ahead.
hello. So it's basically it's just like it's too much pay to play. The game will. I'm put like the game will never. Call of Duty will never be the same when it comes down to the weapons because they don't really know how to weapon tune correctly like they supposed to. So and then like it's just the skill gap when it comes down to the game. It's always they say base matchmaking is like base skill based matchmaking is in the game, but it's not. If you go in the game and play a certain way, you're gonna go in and play against those people that play exactly how you're trying to play.
Mm.
Instead of playing against people who's on your skill level, making the game more balanced. But you're going against people who's daggone cracked out of their mind, and you can't have fun with the game because you're constantly getting stuck in spawn traps. But like, it's a lot of things that they can change about the game to make the game fun, but they're not gonna do it. It's just like at that point, it's like if you come into the Call of Duty world, you just gotta prepare for it. And it's really up to you if you want to learn, get better at it.
I just feel like, bro, like I'm just tired of the whole pay to play thing, bro. That's the only reason I prefer personally to play old games. I like old games, old solo games. Not all the like the multiplayer and like online like playing ranked and stuff. That's cool and all. You feel me? When you want to be social and stuff and have fun and compete. But I like games with a story. I like story based games. Like, what's the example? Like Ghost of Tsushima, like the samurai type game. That was a beautiful game. That was a game. It's like that was my money's worth.
Oh yeah,
It gave me my money's worth. Like I just feel like they don't. It, I just don't see them investing in the game enough. They just like, huh? Especially like Call of Duty or 2K or Madden, like a big game that everybody plays. It's like they do less of work now because they done did the work of building it from ground up. So it's like
they just
I
let
don't
people come
have
buy
to
the game.
do as much. I could just put out a new Madden and it's gonna sell. People gonna buy it. It don't matter if it's trash or not. I can have the same graphics from the last Madden. It doesn't matter. Let me just update the roster, get them some new jerseys and some cleats, and they gonna buy it.
Right.
And honestly, as a gamer, like I'm not a crazy gamer, but just as somebody who loves games, who grew up on great games, I grew up. Oh, it's reconnecting. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, stop for a minute. But we back now. We back on air. But as somebody who grew up on great games, like I grew up when Nintendo was peak. I grew up 3DS, Nintendo DS. Like I grew up peak game. Like when Mario was a big deal. Like I grew up where like Zelda, um, Mario Kart was definitely a big deal. Mario Kart's still a big deal, but it's like
Oh yeah.
Mario Kart's still a big deal to this day. But I'm saying like I grew up when like it was peak though. I still got a Nintendo 3DS right now to this day. To this day. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out here in the world still got them too, but I got one and it works fine. Now everything is a switch. Everything is a switch to. Like I don't want that crap. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want it. Only people that's getting a switch is they want it because they have to play up to date Nintendo games. They're a Nintendo fan, so they have to get a Nintendo console. You know what I'm saying? To play these Nintendo games, but I don't want that crap. Bring us the Wii. Give us the Wii back. Not the little Wii U crap because that didn't count. Not the Wii 2. No, just a Wii. Bring us the Wii. Retro it. Retro it. Xbox, I've heard they coming out with a new handheld. We're I feel like we're getting back into the era of the handhelds. Um, I had a PSP. I sold it. I like retro stuff. I had a PSP. To this, I'm thinking about getting one again. But honestly, stuff like that was way beyond its time though. And if we bring it back now, people are like, oh, it's too old, the graphics. If you got that same platform and you got the graphics better, it would sell like hotcakes. If you rebooted a PSP and you just gave it better graphics that it can support these new games, it would sell like hotcakes.
Correct.
What? If you gave me a Wii and you just up the graphics that it can run better games, it would sell. And I don't understand why these companies just won't give people what they want. They give people half of the product, and that's the strategy. I get it. Business minded wise, that's the strategy. We're not gonna give you what you want. We just gonna give you half of what you want. So you have to settle. That's what I think. I just think they don't really care anymore like they used to. But for the people who are making like solo games, for the people who are making solo games, just like one player story games, they have been cooking lately. Because I just feel like when it comes to a solo story driven game, like God of War, beautiful game.
My
I just
point.
feel like they just cook different. They just cook different when it's time to actually make a video game. When it's time to make a story based video game, it's time to cook. But when it comes to uh like I said, like a Call of Duty, like a Warzone type of thing, it's just they cannot get that down. They cannot get that down. It's gonna be pay to play
Yeah.
9 times.
'Cause I look at it like, okay, like out of all, like I'm gonna just say, like between like all gaming companies, I say the
Mm,
main company that actually does great is Ubisoft.
mm,
Like,
great take.
like I have
Great take.
like I'm not trying to put the other companies down, but Ubisoft hits on all cylinders. The thing is, if they was to release a half-made game, they know how to fix it right then and there.
That's a great
You got
take. Great.
Call of Duty, Activision. They release a half-made game. It takes them shoot. It literally takes them about a whole year or two just to get the game to actually run right. Like
True.
to this day, Black Ops 3 still has bugs, and they never stopped it.
Man,
A game of Ubisoft can have bugs, and they can shut that down whenever they want. So
it's just,
it's, it's,
it's just like this, bro. I want my money's worth. If I
it's
buy the actual version of a game that's $100 plus, and I have a one bug, I'm sending it back immediately. I'm sending it back because why? Why did I buy the best version of this game for it to have bugs and it not be done correctly? That is a waste of my money,
understandable.
and
Understandable.
that's waste of a product. I'm going to send it back. Matter of fact, I go a step further. I would literally find the address of the gaming development company, write a note, and send it back and be like, fix it. $130, $100. We ain't talking for people who got money, like crazy money. Like for the average American, for a kid who is saving up, work, washing cars, whatever, to get this game. You get it and it's halfway done, and I gotta pay for a DLC for season two. I'm sending that thing back to the gaming company. I'm sending it back. Not to the store, no. I'm sending it back to the gaming company. I'm sending it back. What? Man, they don't care. They don't care anymore.
No, they don't.
They don't care anymore. Because like I said, when I was coming up, Nintendo was dropping heat. They could not compete. They could not. And when I tell you they could not compete, when Nintendo dropped Super Smash Bros. On the Wii, I knew for a fact they couldn't compete. They couldn't compete. But
Nintendo
I ain't
had
gonna lie,
the game, the
PlayStation,
chokehold.
PlayStation got some hits too though.
Yep.
Do y'all remember what's it called? Jackson Daxter? Jackson. That do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, straight heat. You know,
Right.
they had early God of War and stuff like that. Like they had heat. They
Like
had heat. But
PlayStation had it going on too.
they was swinging out too. But I'm telling you, that Nintendo run was crazy. The Nintendo run
Nintendo
crazy.
really had the game in the chokehold. Like you saying, you got the Nintendo 64. Like they had the game in the chokehold since they
Bro.
came into the mix.
No, I'm
Like
saying when they brought the DS, like when the
oh
DS
yeah, oh yeah,
actually came into play. When I tell you that
favorite.
they they was tapping into all kind of games. They was Nickelodeon, uh, Cartoon Network games, Dragon Ball Z. Their platform was endless. But I'm not gonna lie, PlayStation was right behind them boys though. I remember them dropping a Jimmy Neutron joint. It was classic. I remember them dropping that joint. It was a classic. So that's what I'm saying. Like PlayStation and Nintendo, bro. I feel like early PlayStation and early Nintendo, bro, they was killing the game, bro.
What you think
And
about the My bad to cut you out.
good,
Like? Just to throw this out there. What's your take about the GameCube though?
the GameCube. See, see, I wasn't around for the GameCube. I was around for the DS when it first came out. I was around for that. See, I'm the type of guy like, nah, if I played the GameCube back in the day, I probably would be like, yeah, bro, the GameCube was that.
But the
But as
GameCube had some
a
heat
kid,
too.
though, bro, that DS run was crazy. Cause you gotta think it was a handheld device, bro. You could take it anywhere. And then on top of that, it had multiplayer, bro.
That is right.
That
That
was
is right.
crazy. Back in the day, that was crazy. And then when the DS came back again and they had like added like Wi-Fi and stuff like that, you can, bro, what?
They
It
did
was
do
literally
that.
in the PSP. It was that in the PSP. Nothing was, and then Xbox had the 360 coming up soon. Like when that 360 came in,
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like it's a canon event. I feel like everybody, well, not everybody, but I definitely had a 360. Matter of fact, in my granny's closet, not to be too much information, I still got that 360 there. I don't know if it worked, but I definitely still got it because that's how much that 360 was. That
Talking about Modern Warfare 2.
yeah,
Modern Warfare 2, I'm gonna say this. Modern Warfare 2.
yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 probably had the best runs on Xbox 360. I'm just say that. Cause like probably one of the most played games also. Them they sit them right there behind Black Ops 2. I'm putting that right there. Like them games are like so legendary to the point. But they try to remaster them, but they don't be the same. You feel me? Hello? Oh, like they don't be the same. So like it's just it's hard, man. So yeah. Oh, having some technical difficulties. All right. All right, so we're gonna get into college football here, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Jeremiah Smith, the big talk of college football. He's the face. I'm gonna put it like that. Right now, he's hot right now. My thing is, will he be able to do this season what he did last season? Even though last season is the past, I just want to know, can he do what he did last season this season? Especially with him being a sophomore, got a little bit more into his offensive scheme now. Could he be the one to lead them to another championship? Cause I'm saying you got other guys in the receiving room that could also take a turn that he did, as in like Cornell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Mylan Graham. They some good receivers too. But I'm like, that going 76 receptions, 1300 over a little over 1,300 receiving yards, 15 receiving touchdowns, and one rushing touchdown as a receiver. That's tough. I think he had one of the best runs as a freshman receiver I've ever seen. I think he had one of the best runs. He has he's labeled himself a top receiver, in the top five. So what you got to say, Corey? All right. Okay. All right. We'll take a pause right here, you guys. We'll be right back. Okay.
Yo,
Yo.
I got kicked out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was kind of everything was kind of like it. Everybody was in a reconnecting type of phase. Like it's
Yeah,
like it couldn't like withhold or I don't know.
I think we were potting too much.
Shoot, you gotta look. We was already at over. I think we was already at over like an hour and a half.
That's what I say. I'm wait for
And
Corey.
shoot, we wasn't even dang near done. Like we was just getting into football.
All right, yeah, that's good. I can just. That's crazy. It crashed like that. All right, I'm wait for Corey.
Cause we had literally like right when you sent that message, we had literally just started talking about Jeremiah Smith.
Shut up.
So I don't know if you got all of that in the
Yeah, I did. It just crashed. The fact that we were potting, that mean we were potting. We definitely were potting there.
Oh yes, sir.
For it to crash like that,
So you want to pick back up at Jeremiah Smith?
yeah, you can pick back up on it.
All right. So basically just restart that whole segment. All right. All right. Let me know when you start the recording.
All right. Yeah, I'm good. I'm already recording. I'm good.
Okay. All right, you guys. We're gonna get into the take about Jeremiah Smith. We'll talk about a little bit of college football here. Jeremiah Smith, highly best receiver in college football right now. But my thing is, can he do what he did last season? This season, even though I know last season, the past that's in the past. But can he do that this season with him being more in depth into the offensive scheme of Ohio State, known as wide receiver university? But I'm saying 76 receptions, little over 1,300 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns receiving. That's tough. And one rushing touchdown as a receiver, that's tough. But coming into next season, you got a lot of guys that could take another turn as him that's been there longer than him. But them guys didn't show as much of that last year. But I'm saying you got Cornell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Mylan Graham. Them were some other talked about receivers in Ohio State receiving room that's also on that type of level. But my thing is Jeremiah Smith. Can you give what you did last season this season? Y'all got anything? Yes. Try. Right. 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 True. That is correct. That is correct. Yes. Well, he's got something to show. Like, okay, their season opener against Texas. That's a big season opener for them. Not saying that he got to go massively crazy in that game, but I want I that's the way to put it. Me personally, I want to see if he can average close to the same stats he did last season. I want to see him take the game over. That's my thing. I want to see him take the game over. Right. Right. Okay. All right. We're gonna go into Arch Manning, man. Arch Manning, big name. He holds the Manning name. A lot of people had a whole lot of hype on him last season, but me seeing, I don't really see what the hype was yet. Even though I know he came in behind Quinn Ewers. But Texas also had a little QB type of problem going on. They'll put Quinn Ewers going and mess up. They'll put Arch Manning in. But it's just like, okay, Arch Manning only had two big games. He had one against UL Monroe, when he first started. He had a little up and down in the game. A couple. He struggled with some interceptions and stuff. But he also showed that he can spin it. But then he had his relief game against UTSA. Against that game, he had he had four passing touchdowns, four passing touchdowns, one rushing touchdown for 67 yards. You know, I feel like they kind of looked at him a little too much, as in like saying that he's a top quarterback with him not being able to show as much. But now that he's the starter, he can show. I want him to show that he can lead them. That he might be that piece to lead Texas to that promised land. So I'm saying, looking at stat wise, he had some good stats as being the backup. 939 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not too bad. He ran for 108 yards, 4 touchdowns. But I'm saying now he is coming in with he doesn't have the same receiving room that Quinn Ewers had. Quinn Ewers had Matthew Golden and all them. What's his name? What's his name? Bowden. He had Bowden in them. But he's coming in with kind of a more younger receiving room as himself. You got Ryan Wingo. You got DeAndre Moore Jr. You got Khalil Lockett, Parker Livingston, and Jamie French. All them guys are new, roughly new. But Ryan Wingo is they're labeling Ryan Wingo as that X factor receiver, as long as it was right with DeAndre Moore. Ryan Wingo has showed his speed in a few games, and so I'm saying it's just like I want to see what he can actually do. He had kind of a little bit of a problem when they brought him in with against when they played Georgia. They put him in. He couldn't deliver what they wanted him to deliver, because you put him into a game where the Bulldogs were already hot and honey. Like, it's kind of a tough point. So I want to see what he can do. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. That's good input. Input. All right. We're gonna go into Alabama, man. Alabama. To all my Alabama fans, Corey, you too. Now, Alabama is a good team. Being that home for Mr. Saban. Saban built him a house there, man. Alabama's great. What I'm gonna hit at is their QB room. Alabama has a I can't even say good, a great QB room with Ty Simpson. Then there's 5-star freshman coming in, Keelan Russell and Austin Mack. I think I'm missing a couple of other quarterbacks though, but how to say but like them three right there, main three that I've have been seeing that could possibly take a starting role, even though they probably already have their decision made on who the starting quarterback is. But my thing is with that QB room is deep. I feel like any one of them could take the starting role at any point. But I just who could potentially start. But the thing is, whoever they start, they got a great receiving room behind them with Ryan Williams, the big 17-year-old that they were talking about last year. Got Isaiah Horton, got Jermaine Bennett, got Jalen Mabaku, Jalen Hale, who's returning off of injury. I feel like he can do something. And Cole Adam. Got a lot of guys over there. That receiver room is deep. And they'll be able to give to deliver for them for whoever their starting quarterback is. Defense is always gonna be there for Alabama. The offense is looking electric. What's your take, Carl? Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, I like that. We're gonna turn to the Ducks, man. I know everybody knows about Evan Stewart. Like this, sorry to hear about what happened to him. He suffered a torn patellar tendon and patella tendon, and he's expecting to miss basically the whole entire season for the Ducks. And so it's kind of a tough take, like he was that X factor receiver that they was looking forward to this season. But they got great talent sitting behind him also. You know, I feel like they hurting. They not really hurting that much, but that was that guy that was supposed to take the lead. But now you got but the next X factor receiver that they looking for to take over is Jeremiah McClellan. How you say his last name? Sorry if you ever listen to this, man. I'm sorry if I messed the last name up. But you know, you got Kyler Casper, DeCorian Moore, and you got the transfer from Florida State, Malik Benson, and you got Justice Lowe. They got some good receivers sitting behind him. Also, it's just sad to hear him go down like that. But injuries happen in football. I just hope he have a speedy recovery, and hopefully he'll be able to return back by the end of the season. And so that's just my take on that. And so I feel like the Ducks still good. I feel like they'll be able to do a little something this season. They just gonna have to they got to work a little hard. But that's all I had to really say about the Ducks. You know, just had to throw that out there a little bit. But we're gonna go and talk about the Dogs. My team, I'm Dogs. Gunner Stockton. A lot of people has been talking about Gunner Stockton. Can he take us there? My thing is Gunner Stockton. I feel like he can. A lot of people say he get that Stetson Bennett vibe. Not gonna lie, he showed a little bit of Stetson Bennett in him, but he's not Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett had his legacy time. It's time for Gunner to make his legacy. Gunner's a sophomore red shirt coming into Georgia. Georgia next season. No, he's coming in the next season. Lead the Dogs. But everybody knows we had a little problem last year with the receiving room. People a whole lot of drop passes. Kirby Smart went and picked up a good bit of receivers that to help that out. But we got some returnees. We got Dylan Bell, London Humphreys, Kobe Young, and then we got some transfers. We got Zachariah Branch and Noah Thomas. And you got our newcomer, Talon Taylor, highly talked about 5-star. And then you got Sokovie White. I feel like Gunner has his weapons. Gunner has the weapons to deliver everything he wants, that he needs to take Georgia to where they need to be. Put them back on that pinnacle. He got great tight ends. He got Lawson Lucky. He also got Oscar Delp. And he got Riddell. My thing is he had some games. He had a good game versus Texas. He also, and I'm like, I say he had a great game versus Notre Dame. Even though we had a whole lot of problems with drop passes in that game, but a lot of people held that against him a little bit leading into this season. But my thing is, I feel like Gunner Stockton has what it takes. Even though he didn't have that many reps, he came in at a more crucial moment for a backup receiver, especially in that playoff time when it's time to win. That's kind of a hard point for a quarterback to come off the bench and try to lead somebody to that type of lead them to a championship. Now, I feel like next season he'll have a lot more time to develop and to deliver what he needs to do to take Georgia back to that championship. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. You right. Because I'm saying, you know, Georgia got a good QB room themselves. You got Ryan Puglisi sitting right behind Gunner. And Ryan Puglisi said he could start at any moment. But everybody knows Kirby. Everybody knows Kirby. He's not taking out no quarterback. He gonna rock with who he's got starting. Seeing that in Carson Beck, even though Carson Beck had a a shaky year, but I feel like me personally, as a Georgia fan, I got faith in Gunnar Stockton. I got faith in him. Right. I feel like he can be what they need, but then at the same time, he could be a bust. Cause you see what happened when he was in New York. He couldn't give to New York what they wanted him to give. So I'm saying that age do. I'm saying not saying age don't play a factor, but it kind of does. Cause he's more like I'm saying he's more the veteran side of all the quarterbacks that's in the league as of right now. Besides him, Joe Flacco, and all of them. But like it's like my thing is on it is they signed him, but they missed up on a lot of great talent coming out of the with that. It's just I feel like they could have did a little bit better with their quarterback decision. But I'm saying if they believe that Aaron Rodgers could take them there, like that's what they believe. So that's my thing on it. Right. They do. They most definitely do. Right.
Okay, now we're going to transition into a little bit of UFC, and my brother Corey is going to tap in with WWE. This is more of a recap of the previous fights that we talked about, and let's get into it. So, first and foremost, Merab and Sean O'Malley. I knew for a fact that Merab was going to take this just based on we talked about last time his stamina, his endurance as a fighter. We knew that Sean O'Malley was going to do something different for this camp, but it just wasn't enough. What are potential matchups for Sean O'Malley? What does that look like? I can't tell you a right answer right away because it seems like he is looking for a different type of style now. It seems like the approach when he got into the octagon, when it came to Merab, he had no clue what to do with him. Striking was phenomenal, but Merab was just all over him. He could not be stopped. And I would like to see Sean O'Malley change his camp up. You know, Luke Welch, I believe that's his name. He's a great trainer. I feel like they need to train. They need to switch up the training plan, and really focus on his key points again. And every fighter goes through this. Every fighter goes through that drought period that they lose. Everybody loses. That's life. So I'm not disappointed that he lost. I'm more of like, okay, he can be beat. Now it's time to do a tune up. It's time to go in and change it up. For Marab, um, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing, straight mauling and dominating. Grappling right now in the UFC is definitely taking over. And also to pitch in, UFC has now tapped into the jiu-jitsu world. Last podcast, I was talking about how one championship had jiu-jitsu and wrestling and grappling bouts. Now, UFC is now implementing that same type of formula. Also, there's been talks that UFC is kind of getting into boxing now, even though Dana himself said that he wasn't going to do boxing. I don't know what money talks, I guess. So, a lot of things are going on in the UFC. Also, I want to talk on a recap with Usman and Buckley in Atlanta. Usman did pull off the win. They talk about his knees. They talk about saying that he's out of shape and he's done. Nah, I don't think he's done. I think he just was going through a loss period. I don't even think his knees is even that bad for real. On top of that, the tickets, outrageous. Tickets were too expensive. Nosebleeds were like $200-300, like insane. And knowing that they don't come to Atlanta, and I feel like that would have been a good showing for the UFC if there would have been some affordable tickets there. I understand it was, a main event, but man, I would have loved to see that fight just to get the. It was in State Farm Arena too, so real cool, real cool. But I just would like to see for upcoming Charles Oliveira and Ilya Tupura. That is the fight that I feel like we all want to see again, and I believe it's going down on the 28th. So y'all be prepared for this. And for us Charles fans, Charles, please win. For the love of God, please just win. Beat him, please. If you don't, I'm still gonna support Charles Oliveira. And Ilya Tapura, hey, we know the striking is elite. We know you're very great when it comes to boxing combination, the MMA format. So we know it'll be a great fight. And I am a Ilya Tapura fan. It's just I like Charles Oliveira more. So just bias. Win, Charles, please. If you don't, okay, cool. I don't know you for real. So whether you win or not, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get paid to show up, and you're gonna get paid to win or lose regardless. So but I would like to see him pull off the win. And that is my recap for the MMA UFC world. Hmm. Hmm. Very interesting with that.
Very, very, very
Uh,
interesting.
So now, are you gonna talk about more of the recap or what? Okay, I'm just knowing that I'm finna just transition into like, uh, cause we getting into the end of the pod, kind of transition.
Um,
Uh,
my thing. We're missing a segment about WWE. We're missing one segment about WWE. But I just wanted to take on WWE again about TKO. TKO is doing some crazy stuff right now. It's about as in like trying to reevaluate Roman Reigns' contract. The guy that's kept them on top since the Bloodline series started. I feel like my thing about it is I don't think that they should renegotiate his contract for what he has done. He's earned what he is making. I don't think they should take that away from him. And so I feel like if they was to change his contract, they'll lose. I feel like they'll probably lose a key piece to WWE themselves. And then that's my feel. What you think, Corey? Right. Right.
mm,
That is right.
mm,
That is a thing. Cause the next thing I'm gonna talk about is them sending WrestleMania back to Las Vegas. I feel like they shouldn't have done that because it doesn't seem right. Just because they made the most money in Las Vegas last year, this past WrestleMania, and they gotta run it back in Las Vegas, that just don't make no sense to me. It just don't make no sense to me. Understandable. Understandable. That's just my thing about it. TKO to get their stuff together.
all right, so now we're getting into the end of the pod. We have some extra topics to cover, so my bad on that. Um, Basically, we're just getting into basically just a little banter talk, little knickknacks of the pod, different questions, random thoughts and theories. Basically, just a side where we just not prospectively talk about things that's topic oriented, just things that interest us. So, my brother Corey is going to talk about cybersecurity, the cybersecurity world. Mm. Yeah, I like to say too as well that um a lot of traffic law scams have been going on too as well. Like tickets, saying that you have tickets, saying that you didn't you have overdue your insurance is expired, car insurance expired, stuff like that. A lot of stuff is going on with that as well. Definitely be real considerate. Hold up. It,
Most things like
read
when it comes
that.
down to like, car insurance though,
Mm-hmm.
like a car insurance company will not message you like
At
that.
all.
Like, they'll send you mail first. They'll send you mail
Right.
notifying you about it. Like like you got to pay attention to something. Like these big companies, like they'll mail you. They'll send you something in the mail. They won't never text your phone.
At all.
So
Sometimes they send a scam in the mail though too. Beware of that they will do that though. They will send some stuff in the mail. That's crazy. But also I want to get into like more technology, more AI. Um I think people are beginning to accept AI a little bit more now. Different videos, and it's getting to a point that we may see AI be more integrated into society now, like more than what it is. I feel like we're gonna start seeing like AI advertisements a little bit more, AI movies maybe. Um, and I ain't talking just like look AI movies on YouTube. I'm talking like we are going to the theater to see AI, and people say, "Oh, we should hate AI." I'm like, why should we though? Why should we hate something that we created? It's kind of stupid. It's like you're hating your own create. We're hating our own creation that we created. We created this. Not saying that we all was in a lab and was all like on a computer and stuff trying to make this work, but saying like humanity itself, we came up with the concept of. And you're saying we should hate it, but I feel like that's just the negative push towards it. Because if you look on the opposite hand, it's a lot of people saying like, yeah, this stuff is coming in handy. Because honestly, look at the Siri on your phone. I mean, look at when the when the GPS tells you when to turn, and it technology being so useful in your common day life, why wouldn't AI help that? AI would help enhance that. I feel like that is a good thing. And now that content now is becoming more AI, I feel like people are they're slowly giving it to us like piece by piece for us to digest. But I really feel like we're getting to a point where AI is becoming more normal, and it is okay now to post AI content now. It's okay now. See, if we would have did this back in 2021, it would have been like, nah, that's not the way. But now I see that people are like, yeah, this is cool now. I want to invest in more of this, which is a great thing for, the technology space. And then they be like, AI harms the environment. And honestly, I don't know the specifics on it. It's technology, it's AI, you feel me? It's programming to help with information and research and to do certain tasks. If anything, AI can help the climate. AI can literally, hey, how do I solve global warming? How do I help with to prevent global warming? AI can come up with a plan for that. Is it logically the best scenario for you to use it for? I don't know. It depends on whatever your situation is. But I definitely believe that having AI to help tweak certain plans and stuff to make it more organized or more correct, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like it's going to get to a point where we're going to see um spreadsheets and stuff that are AI generated and AI made. We're going to see different logistics and different rates on different things be AI generated. You know what I'm saying? It's already going into a computer anyways. So it's like what's what's the harm in having AI fact check it and back it up? But that concludes my little theory, or basically my agenda, I guess I like to push. But yeah, that's all for me. Corey. Mm-mm. I'm done. I'm done for
I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm your host, Josiah.
Peace.
Peace. Yo.
Yo.
I'm just trying to make sure.